Hey guys, you here? Good, good. Thanks for keeping me company, because otherwise I'm really bored when you're not here. So today is another day, just another day here in paradise, and we're gonna keep going with those patches. And as you may remember from last video, this is the rear end of the floor, and this is the front end in front of this box here in the floor. So now today's task is to cut this and change it with something like that, and then we're gonna start putting them inside the car. So somehow we have to turn this into this, put this to the side, and then we have to turn this into this. Right? That was a quickie, wasn't it? Okay, and from here, now, with all these parts, I think we're gonna go to the car. I'm gonna first this, then I'm gonna line this up. We're gonna mark where the inner seal goes, the line, then we're gonna make the drop right on this one, and then with the drop we're gonna have to bend it at the end, this shape, and that's gonna happen on the shrinker, no, actually on the stretcher. So let's go to the car, guys. Okay, so we are inside the car, and I cleaned up a little bit here with the wire brush, and it turns out that I have more pitting here in this, whoops, anyways, I have more pitting here in this area. So now when I put the patch here, I'm not gonna weld this side, I'm just gonna tack it so it stays there, and later when I finish with the seals I'm gonna have to replace another patch here, because there's a hole here, there's a hole here, there are little holes here, so this whole area needs to be replaced too, but the rest of it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna tuck this in place, and then we'll see, maybe next we're gonna have to fix this, the inner seal, the missing piece here, and then we're gonna align the door and the seal so we can figure out where that floor drop needs to be. Because here in this area I know where the floor drop needs to be, it's right under this lip of the inner seal, but here the inner seal ends somewhere here, and from there to the front I don't have any reference. So my only reference is gonna be the outer seal, but for the outer seal I need the door for reference and the hood. Like I said, I'm not gonna weld here because I'm gonna replace this piece as well, and I'm not gonna get too crazy with grinding on this side because this side is not gonna be seen, but at some point I'm gonna have to tip the body on one side and take a good care of underneath. That's where I wanna do a nice grinding, and the stuff needs to be perfect. So I think the next piece now, the next piece to repair is this little piece of the inner seal, which I need to replace. It goes from here all the way to the other side. So let's go and fabricate something like that. I found this piece of scrap which is gonna work perfectly for here, because this, you might not understand what the shape of it is. So there's a flange here that is almost missing, but you can see it here in this end. So we can use this piece and fabricate something similar. Okay, so I cut it and I clean it with the wire wheel, and now I'm gonna draw the shape. Actually, let's cut it. Let's bend it first to 90 degrees. This flange is like 3/8 of an inch, not even half an inch. So I'm gonna go and cut it on the bend saw, something like that. Okay, so you see this shape. This is the shape that we need to make, but with the flange on the other side. So first I'm gonna have to stretch it somewhere here. I don't know if I'm gonna have so much grip now. Maybe I should have left it a little bit longer. Actually, I have enough room on the other side, so okay. I'm gonna make it longer on this side, and I'm gonna cut it here later. So here I'm gonna stretch it, and then somewhere here I'm gonna have to shrink it. So that's the stretcher first. And now let's do the shrinking part. Okay. It looks similar, right? Now here we made the shape, but here it didn't follow too well. So now we're gonna have to bend this as well, because this needs to match this. And for this I'm gonna use the vise. Yeah, lengthwise we are perfect. So now we have to cut it here and here. Good. And on the other side, oh shoot, it's a little bit shorter here, but that's fine. I won't even do that shape here. Well, it's not perfect, but it's almost there. Okay, I'm not gonna bother too much. I think this is enough, I think. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see what it looks like, if it fits or not. Wow. It's like it's always been here, right? Okay. I'm not gonna go too crazy on the grinding. Let me show you what it looks like outside. Okay, so that's outside. Here I had to weld it outside because that's under that box, you see. So now we have flange from the beginning of the inner sill to all the way to the back. But There at the back there's one piece of the inner seal that needs to be replaced too. And also this flange here needs to be cleaned because I still have pieces from the old floor that I ripped. I think I am at a stage where I will have to put the outer seal in place so I can figure out where this piece of floor will need to end. But to have the seal on, I will have to attach the door as well. Actually, first I'm gonna try to line up the seal. Let's see what it looks like. So, yesterday I was saying that the lower A-post needs to come up to this one and then a little bit further out, and that's gonna form a flange here, and this was gonna go down and then this way, but actually it's not true. Actually this piece has drop and then this piece lines with it and then the outer seal goes on top. Okay, so sorry about that. Here I still have pieces from the old seal. I have to do some more cleaning here and at the back over there so it fits properly. Surprisingly, it fits and it meets the piece of the, I don't know what is that, the lower A-post I guess. Meets it perfectly there. Wow. Okay, let me clean up at the end over there. I'm gonna clamp it and then we're gonna put the door. And we're gonna close the hood and we're gonna see how all these gaps match, because that's very important, guys. I was telling Chris Fisher, by the way, if you don't follow Chris Fisher, he's restoring a Spitfire Mark 1 and he's into this kind of work. He's installing rockers, floors, now he disassembled the whole rear valance. It's a very interesting series, so I recommend watching it. I was giving him the same advice. I said I wouldn't install the rockers if I don't have the bonnet in the right place, because that's really important, because this gap here and this gap here are also very critical, you know, at least for me. I was telling you guys I was gonna buy belt sander, right? And so I did for places like this. The tool actually is nice too. These little belts cost $12 for 3 of them, and this literally lasted me this. Really? Like literally 30 seconds or maximum a minute. Wow. It matches the lower end of the inner seal, so when the floor comes with its drop, it's gonna perfectly in place. Here it will need to go in to match this, but now I don't have anything to hold it to. I'm gonna need holes for plug welds here anyways. Welcome home, baby. here. So this gap is a little bit too small, but otherwise, wow. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, now this is better. Okay, let's close the hood. Okay, let's go to the side, guys. I am actually amazed how well everything fits. I'm so happy, guys. I'm so happy. The only problem is here, this horizontal line. You see how it opens a little bit in the front? But that's because here we have a dent on the wheel arch. And when this dent is pulled out, I'm sure this front end is gonna come down. Now the difference is maybe 1/8 of an inch between here and here, but I'm sure that this is gonna come down when I fix this. Now I have a hammer sticking in front. If you see, this is holding the hood up, but if I remove it, this gap becomes even, but then it opens here in this end, and I want in this end to be perfect, because that affects also the gap on the top in front of the windshield wipers. So now that gap is good, this gap is good, this gap is good up to here. Only here at the end it opens a little bit, but I'm gonna fix that width when I'm fixing this wheel arch. Otherwise, all the way everywhere else, everything fits so well. That's unbelievable. I'm so happy. So now in this position I need to press a little bit the rocker up, because that's how they make them. When you put them in, they have to be a little bit under stress, you know. They need to have a little bit of tension in them. I don't know why it's that, but that's good. But I'm telling you guys, that was the easiest fit ever. You saw me, I just put it there and everything comes in place. And I guess that's because of this thing here. You see this thing? This is called roof. This makes the body so much stiffer than all our convertible cars, where we have a lot of issues with the bodies bending here and there. But this body is so solid that you see how many pieces are removed, and it is still sitting right where it's supposed to be. It didn't twist, didn't bend, didn't do anything. So yeah, I'm so happy, guys. Okay, and this is the sill inside, and this is the line that I was missing for the floor that I needed. I don't even need to mark the floor here, the piece of the floor, because now I can tell that the line is between this point here and that point over there. Like, maybe I just need to mark the height. I remove the sill now, and I'm gonna keep working on the floor. And the door I'm gonna remove because it's on my way. After 30 years, she came back home, and then she has to leave again. So, I have this line here, which corresponds to the line I have from the cutout piece that I have. So I'm gonna line up this line with, you don't see it here. Okay. I'm gonna line up this line with this line, and then I'm gonna mark where this corner is and where this is, and that's gonna give me the line where I need to bend for my drop. Okay, perfect. So this is my bend, this is my bend. So a straight line between this and this is where I have to bend. Once we have the drop, then we're gonna have to make this curve on the stretcher. So this is the final shape, supposedly. So we have to bend from this corner to here. And doesn't matter this line is not perfect, we're gonna grind it later to where we want it. Is this 90 degrees? No, here it's 89. Now I have my hammer here. Perfect. So I brought this piece, the one that I cut off, but first, before I brought it, I went back to the car and I bent it back to the exact shape to match the floor there, because I used it so many times that this curve was already very distorted. So now I'm gonna mark this shape here on the table. Okay, and so now we have to bend this to match this shape. You know what? Let's go to the car. Okay, it's tucked in place. So now, oh wow, I made a mistake. Anyways, I should have, you know, the flange on the other side of the inner seal. I should have drilled holes for plug welds, because now this flange on the inner seal needs to get plug welded to the floor. Now it's gonna be hard to drill the holes here, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna turn you off because now I'm gonna block your view. I'm gonna have to go inside and I'm gonna block your view, so I'm gonna turn you off and I'm gonna bring you back when it's welded. Okay, not gonna go too crazy with the grinding because yeah, again, this is gonna be inside and it's gonna be covered. Maybe I can grind a little bit more when I replace this patch here, but for now I don't wanna bother too much. Now I didn't weld it here at this corner because this is where the piece that is underneath this box needs to be replaced, so I'm gonna replace it from underneath, and this is when I'm gonna weld it there. But yeah, for now that's it for inside. I'm gonna start building this extension of the A-post now. So now we have to extend this to meet this piece of the floor, and you see how now the inner seal steps right on top of the floor. So here we have to do spot welds, and this is where I forgot to drill holes. And I had this old piece, the one that I cut, and it doesn't give me too much information, does it? So I'm assuming that this was coming vertically here and there was an angle here, a corner, because this is where the rocker cap comes. I don't know where this pressing stops, but I'm assuming it's somewhere here, because here it needs to be flat. So I can use this piece of sheet metal, but I can shove behind and mark the shape more or less. Just need to cut from here to the back. Actually, it needs to have a flange, doesn't it? Okay. So I have to cut like here so we can bend a Okay, so I bent this flange here just temporarily so I can put the piece inside. Maybe I'm gonna have to straighten it after. We'll see that. Yeah, it looks like actually now I can see where the right place for it is. It needs to come here. So it doesn't really matter where the flange is right now. For now, what matters is this shape here. Let's see based on that if we can. Actually, I'm gonna bend it by hand because with the brake it makes too sharp corner, and these there don't look so sharp. See? Okay. And now I have to go the other way. And the same thing here. No. My flange is gonna be on the way. Let me straighten it. In the wrong place anyways. So here, I think we are a little bit too much, but we can always straighten it a little bit. Like this. Yeah, that was very slight curve there. Now the thing is though, we have those here, those shapes, but at the bottom we need to be straight, because that needs to meet the floor. So I'm gonna straighten it at the bottom. And I'm hoping we are there. And let's see how it fits now. Even worse. Okay, I have to clean this from the corner here, otherwise it's never gonna fit. Alright, I think that's pretty damn close, guys. What are you gonna say? Only here, why did I cut it so much? And once we have this straightened up, we're gonna draw a line from here straight to the end, and we're gonna trim at the same time the floor and this piece. Oh. What are you gonna say? I like it. Not bad. Okay, but you know what? It is Saturday and it's 6 p.m. and I'm tired. You wanna go home and watch some YouTube videos? Let's do that. We'll come back tomorrow. Okay? We did 6 hours today. Not bad for a Saturday. And we did all this work. I'm happy. That was that was a bit complicated for me in my head, but now that I did it, so simple. Everything is simple, guys. Don't tell anybody, but everything is so simple with this car. They want you to believe that everything is complicated, overdrives and stuff, but everything is simple. So let's go home. Should we put our tools away? Tomorrow we're here again, so let's leave everything like that.